VTV News. Third ASEAN Women Leaders Summit opens. Deep processing enhances value of agriculture exports. In our world news, Israel issued new evacuation order in eastern Khan Younis.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. VTV News starts right now.
Hello, it's 3 p.m. local time in Hanoi. You're watching VTV News. On Thursday morning at the National Convention Center, Prime Minister Phie attended the opening session of the 4th World Conference of Overseas Vietnamese and the 2024 Forums of Overseas Vietnamese Intellectuals and Experts. The event witnessed the participation of 400 delegates representing more than 6 million Vietnamese people living abroad.
At the event, Prime Minister Phie emphasized 3 important messages for overseas Vietnamese. First of all, the motto, "The Vietnamese community abroad is an inseparable part and a resource of community," has always been a consistent policy of our party and state. Second, the country expects and trusts overseas Vietnamese in the cause of building and defending the fatherland. Their success is also the success of the country. Third, Vietnam cherishes and understands Vietnamese people's thoughts and aspirations and highly appreciates the valuable contributions of the Vietnamese community abroad.
It's the responsibility of the party, state, ministries, localities, and people to firstly protect the legitimate and legal rights of the Vietnamese community abroad. Second, they must maximize the strength of the community in the cause of building and defending the nation in the current climate. Third, they must build the Vietnamese community abroad as a bridge, a driving force and a resource to promote the country's deep, substantive, and effective international integration. Fourth, the party, state and government always listen to, share and implement the appropriate, dedicated, responsible and intelligent suggestions of the Vietnamese community abroad for the overall development of the country.
The Prime Minister requested to further promote the tradition of great national unity, promote great resources and patriotism, promptly remove obstacles, and have favorable mechanisms and policies for the Vietnamese community abroad to invest and do business. The government's leaders hopes that the community will develop strongly, spread values, national identity, culture, and the Vietnamese community.
On Friday morning, at the invitation of Laos Prime Minister Sonexay Siphandone, Prime Minister Phie attended and delivered a speech online at the 3rd ASEAN Women Leaders Summit. He emphasized the great contributions of women, who are both the foundations of each family and pioneers in promoting the sustainable development of society. The Prime Minister shared with the summit Vietnam's result in implementing its national gender equality goals in 2023, with the Gender Equality Index increasing by 11 levels compared to 2022. To promote women's potential, strengthen the care economy, and foster self-reliance towards the ASEAN community after 2025, the Prime Minister suggests that ASEAN countries focus on the 3 strengthenings regarding the positions and role of women. Notable information for businesses and farmers. Currently, major markets for Vietnamese agriculture products are increasing quality control measures for imported goods. Specifically, countries in the European Union are increasing the frequencies of quality control inspections on numerous goods such as dragon fruit, chili, okra, and durian from Vietnam. This tightening of control stems from an over 80% increase in orange shipments compared to the previous year. Many shipments have failed to strictly adhere to standards such as product traceability and food safety criteria. In particular, standards on green production, environmental friendliness, and emission reductions are also being tightened by importing countries. Agricultural products that continue to violate these standards risk immediate suspensions or cancellations of orders. Changes in consumer preferences have driven agricultural producers to focus on promoting clean and delicious food. To ensure the quality of products, many Vietnamese food and agricultural producers have invested in deep processing chains to diversify and ensure the preservation of products. More to follow.
This batch of dried jackfruit is prepared for Southeast Asian markets. The factory has gained a reputation and exported orders through its technologies for processing fresh jackfruit into refined products.
Our first batch of refined jackfruit went to South Korea. Our trading partners keep ordering more. They like the quality and convenience of our products.
Deep processing not only increases product value and attracts consumers, but also proactively addresses the challenge of preserving raw materials for farmers.
In the near future, we'll explore new product types, like freeze drying, to enhance the value of deep processing.
The authorities have called on factories and enterprises to collaborate in production. Our aim is to strengthen the field of deep processing further and increase export value.
Vietnam produces about 31 million tons of fruit and vegetable products each year, but less than 20% of these undergo deep processing. If producers improve their processing methods, export turnover will likely surpass the $5.6 billion USD target.
Generative artificial intelligence is being applied more widely in many fields. However, it's crucial to consider AI ethics and use these technologies responsibly and safely while minimizing risk. This issue was raised at the Vietnam Artificial Intelligence Forum 2024, which opened Friday morning in Hanoi. According to experts, artificial intelligence technology is creating many great opportunities. The world can potentially exploit an estimated $500 billion in data values. However, it also comes with risks, since generative AI can be used to create fraudulent content, violate privacy, and increase phishing attacks that are difficult for users to detect. To prevent the misuse of artificial intelligence for malicious purposes, a combination of strict legal regulations and soft rules is necessary, including ethical guidelines and recommendations for organizations researching and applying AI products. The event also introduced AI solutions that help businesses streamline workflows and reduce costs, as well as support doctors in developing treatment plans for cancer patients. Enterprises and cooperatives in Cần have received training in digital business skills. The Ministry of Industry and Trade organized the course to equip sellers with knowledge and skills for optimizing online business activities, building effective strategies, and expanding their market's reach. This marks the 5th year of the training program for small and medium enterprises, small traders, and cooperatives in Mekong Delta. In the first half of this year, revenue for the 5 major e-commerce platforms, Shopee, Lazada, Tiki, Sandal, and TikTok Shop, reached $6 billion, a 78% increase compared to the same period last year. The central city of Da Nang has led the country for 4 consecutive years in several indicators, including a digital government, economy, and digital society. The city views digital transformation as an ongoing journey and a catalyst for breakthroughs. Local people are always placed at the center of digital transformation process. More to follow.
At the ticket counter for the Ngũ Hành Sơn scenic spot in Da Nang City, Tú, a tourist, scans a QR code to find out more information and pictures of the scenic spot he's about to experience.
In the city, I have noticed that nearly all tourist attractions have integrated technology, allowing visitors to learn more about each destination is very convenient for tourists.
QR codes are not limited to tourist attractions, relics, and scenic spots. They are also deployed on city roads. In Son Chat district, 74 roads feature 220 street name signs with integrated QR codes. These codes provide information such as location, total length, character, biographies, and details about restaurants, hotels, and agencies along the roads.
We apply information technology to enhance tourism activities, improve the quality of experiences, and promote tourist destinations within our district.
This is a booking application that supports all mobile devices, a convenient traffic app.
The application helps people easily look up information about parking lots and areas where parking is prohibited. The screen displays a map of parking lots.
These are just a few of the hundreds of digital transformation initiatives that Da Nang City has implemented. In recent years, the city has consistently received Vietnam Smart City Awards. Digital transformation with a focus on serving its people remains the primary goal of this smart city.
And before moving on to some other news, let's take a look at foreign exchange rate for today, August 23rd. Coming up next on VTV News, village elders serve as bridge between border guards and locals. And Nha Trang among top 5 diving destinations in Asia. Bronze feet Iron soldiers are fighting well, shooting accurately. This was President Ho Chi Minh's compliment to the artillery arms of the Vietnamese People's Army. Upholding these traditions, today artillery soldiers always take the lead and support infantry in combat. Over 60 years, through the construction, combat, and growth, a generation of officers and soldiers in the 6th Artillery Brigade under Military Region 9 have strived to maintain the reputations of Uncle Ho's army.
Artillery Brigade 6. Moving and using such a large cannon has never been easy. After a period of training, the officers and soldiers have become proficient in all aspects of their operations.
We train in harsh weather conditions under severe heat, rain, and storms. I have to study, practice, and work hard to constantly complete assigned tasks.
Between 1963 and 1975, the artillery force took part in 3,700 battles, both large and small. The unit also provided crucial support to the Cambodian people, working closely with them to rebuild their country. This contributed to strengthening the solidarity between the two nations.
We continuously strive for improvement and promote the qualities of Uncle Ho's soldiers. We focus on building the unit and excellently completing all tasks assigned by the Military Region Command.
Taking Uncle Ho's teachings to heart, the 6th Artillery Brigade always strives to improve combat readiness and maintain discipline through rigorous training. These challenging sessions forge soldiers with bronze feet and iron shoulders, so they can fight effectively and shoot accurately.
Commanders of the unit regularly inspect and assess the situations, promptly detecting and correcting any errors in training and discipline. Before the training sessions, we prepare the training grounds.
For its many outstanding achievements, Artillery Brigade 6 was awarded the title of Hero of the People's Armed Forces. Their bravery in combat and resilience in the face of hardships have upheld the tradition of solidarity, coordination, flexibility, creativity, effective fighting, and accurate shooting that characterizes the heroic artillery troops.
In the mountainous and border areas of the Central Highlands, village elders play a crucial role. They actively assist local authorities by encouraging residents to implement the party's policies and the state laws. These village elders and head of the villages are respected individuals who serve as bright example for the community to emulate.
Having served as a village elder for over 10 years, Rocham Halak is highly respected by the local people. He regularly visits each household to help people offer assistance to reduce poverty, discourage bad behaviors, and prevent illegal border crossings.
The village elder advises people against listening to harmful influences, engaging in drug trafficking, or crossing borders illegally. The youth in the village should focus on working.
Since 1985, villagers have gradually stabilized their lives. The authorities have also provided many conditions for dry families on the other side of the river to quickly stabilize their lives. Students are able to attend school, couples can marry, and young people can find work in factories.
Every weekend, village elder Kasal Bung patrols the border alongside the youth union and border guards. He also frequently organizes activities to foster connections with villages across the Cambodian border.
Recently, our village established a sisterhood with Lam village and Chi village in Nhang Commune, Cambodia, to maintain relationship and solidarity, as well as to ensure security and order along the Vietnam-Cambodia border. The village elders in the border communes of Zao and other border communes in Gia Lai province act as an extended arm of the border guard. They are directly and frequently involved with the people, helping the border guards manage and protect the border, as well as maintain social order in the area.
Along the Siran River, the village elders, local residents, and border guards are determined to uphold each market and boundary line. They are focused on developing the economy and protecting the peace in this region.
The Australian government, in partnership with the World Health Organization, is rolling out over 1.1 million doses of measles vaccines to high-risk areas and outbreak zones in Vietnam. The initiative, which was announced online at the World Immunization Week 2024 conference held Thursday afternoon at the Ministry of Health, aims to target schools and medical facilities to curb the spread of the measles.
Vietnam has reported over 2,000 measles cases nationwide, including nearly 600 cases and 3 deaths in Ho Chi Minh City alone. Experts warn that the epidemic could intensify when students return to school in September. As the COVID-19 pandemic has previously disrupted vaccine supplies and vaccination efforts, creating an immunity gap among children, the vaccination campaign will now cover children aged 1 to 10 years old.
Measles is highly contagious, spreading up to 18 times more than other diseases. If one person is infected and others aren't vaccinated, it will likely spread quickly. We've identified 18 high-risk provinces, with the threat reaching district levels. Our initial phase will target about 100 districts to control the outbreak.
For districts included in this campaign, measles vaccines will be provided free of charge and will target only those who were not vaccinated in previous campaigns.
That results in entire communities being exposed to the risk of measles. Measles is also a very serious disease affecting young children. Young children can get very sick and can even die as a result of measles.
Are immunized. Education and the school year will start soon, so we also are very keen that the education authorities are mostly engaged at national and provincial levels. So our role has been in this country for more than 50 years and also today to be supporting the government of Vietnam.
Regarding the Ho Chi Minh City Department of Health's proposal to declare a measles epidemic, the Ministry of Health confirmed that the decision will also depend on the city's capacity to respond effectively with available resources and personnel.
Nha Trang ranks among the top 5 diving destinations in Asia, according to information released by the online travel platform Agoda this August. The city earned its high ranking thanks to its warm waters and colorful marine ecosystem. Hanoi Marine Protected Area stands out as a top diving location. Nha Trang City is one of the 5 most attractive destinations for recreational activities and underwater exploration in Southeast Asia and Asia as a whole. Other destinations on this list include Bali, Indonesia, Phuket, Thailand, Okinawa, Japan, and Cebu, Philippines. The People's Committee of Taiping Province has recently issued a decision to establish the map for the Hthi Wetland Nature Reserve in Hthi District, Taiping Province. The map clearly defines 3 important hub zones: the strict protection zone, the buffer zone, and the ecological restoration zone. More to follow.
The Hthi Wetland Nature Reserve is situated outside Dikes 5 and 6 in Hthi District, bordered on 3 sides by rivers and to the east by the sea. This location is advantageous for developing mangrove forest on tidal flats to preserve land, combat climate change, and create livelihoods for local residents. Clearly defining the reserve's location, boundaries, and area is a crucial step to achieving the goal of marine-oriented economic development, expanding space, and ensuring environmental protection.
We base our work on 3 main pillars: the state's legal basis, the Biodiversity Conservation Law, and Decree 66 on the conservation and sustainable development of wetlands, particularly considering the natural processes.
The Taiping Department of Natural Resources and Environment was tasked with investing and assessing the reserve's location, area, and boundaries. Following legal procedures and documents, they defined 33 coordinate points for the reserve, covering a total area of 12,500 hectares. The buffer zone is defined by 40 coordinate points and situated 1,000 meters from the Hthi Wetland Nature Reserve's boundary.
We identified the forest area as the central development zone and core area for the reserve. While the area remains unchanged, the location has been adjusted. This ensures the protection of the critical area and zone.
With over 52 kilometers of coastline, Taiping Province has a significant advantage in marine economic development. Establishing the reserve's location and boundaries will also facilitate the development of mangrove forests, which will help protect the wetland ecosystem and biodiversity, and shield the coastal area from wind, waves, and storms.
Coming up next in our One News. Israel issued new evacuation order in eastern Khan Younis. And Hthi attacked 2 commercial ships in Red Sea and Gulf of Aden. The Israeli army on Thursday ordered Palestinians to evacuate several areas in eastern Khan Younis, southern Gaza Strip, ahead of a planned military offensive. An Israeli army spokesman urged residents to move immediately to humanitarian zones for their safety, citing ongoing airstrikes and potential ground operations. According to UN data, 90% of Gazans have been displaced due to Israeli attacks. On Thursday, the UN Security Councils convened to address Middle East tensions. Country representatives called for an immediate ceasefire and strict adherence to UN Security Council resolutions. Yemen Houthi forces on Thursday claimed responsibility for attacks on 2 ships in the Red Sea and Gulf of Aden. A Houthi spokesman said the 2 attacks were carried out because the companies operating the 2 ships had links to Israel. The force said the purpose of the 2 attacks was to support Palestinians in Gaza and respond to US-UK aggressions against Yemen. Meanwhile, the US-UK coalition has responded with airstrikes on Houthi targets in Yemen since mid-January to prevent disruptions to international shipping routes. This move has led to Houthis to expand their target to include US and UK commercials and military vessels in the Red Sea and Gulf of Aden. The Democratic Party's presidential candidate Kamala Harris had just delivered a speech on the final day of the party convention held over the past 4 days in Chicago, officially accepting the party nominations and sending many important messages. In her speech, Harris touched on topics of current interest to American voters, including inflation control, healthcare, immigration, gun control, clean energy, climate change response, U.S. commitments to NATO, and conflicts in Europe and the Middle East. She also criticized the policies of Republican candidate Donald Trump on domestic and foreign affairs. The World Health Organization has recently issued a warning about a new, more dangerous variant of the monkeypox virus. Cases and deaths from monkeypox are on the rise, with the virus now spreading to Europe and Asia. More to follow.
Thai authorities announced on Wednesday the detection of a monkeypox case in a tourist, suspecting it to be the country's first variant 1B infection. According to the Thai Department of Disease Control, the patient is a European citizen who traveled to Thailand from an African country. The patient is currently isolated in the hospital.
The patient is currently in stable condition with no serious symptoms. The patient is suspected of being infected with variant 1B of the monkeypox virus. We will soon have the test results of the virus.
Variant 1B is a newly identified strain of the monkeypox virus, believed to be more virulent and contagious than variant 2. The Africa Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reported that monkeypox has emerged in 12 of the continent's 54 countries. Sweden became the first country outside Africa to detect variant 1B. Therefore, the WHO has cautioned that Europe might see more cases of this new strain soon.
That's a threat to the rest of the world, but it's really because it's spreading so rapidly, causing so many more cases than we've seen. We've seen in this half year more cases than we saw all of last year, and last year we saw more cases than we were seeing before.
Monkeypox can spread from person to person through close physical contact. The disease typically causes flu-like symptoms and pus-filled sores. While usually mild, monkeypox can occasionally be fatal or lead to serious complications.
And now, as usual, let's continue with the weather forecast. And that's all the news for today. To rewatch our program, you can log on to VTVgo.vn or download our mobile application VTVgo. Thanks for watching and goodbye for now.